The identity of the masked man that attacked CM Punk in WWE's War Games match at Survivor Series last night has potentially been revealed. Plus, Triple H confirms that there was lobbying, politicking, and backstage tension ahead of the men's War Games match, with some creative chaos, if you will, taking place. All this and more in this news update. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Before we begin, a huge thank you to everyone that tuned in last night for the Survivor Series watch-along and post-show. We did fantastic numbers, a bunch of new subscribers, loads of people getting involved in the chat with your super chats and members chats, so it's really much appreciated. A reminder, the next one will be for John Cena's retirement show, Saturday night's main event in 2 weeks' time, so be sure to join us then. Now, let's get into Survivor Series last night, and let's talk about that mystery masked man that entered the cage at the conclusion of the War Games match, costing the babyfaces the bout. The main event of WWE Survivor Series ended with a mystery angle as a hooded figure dressed in all black climbed the cage and laid out CM Punk with a stomp. This ultimately allowed Bron Breakker to follow up with a spear to the World Heavyweight Champion for the victory inside War Games for the Vision. Now, ever since this happened, of course, there has been speculation on the identity of the hooded figure. Now, according to PW Insider, they're reporting that that figure was Austin Theory. This has also been reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, saying that their WWE sources are claiming that the man under the mask was Austin Theory last night. Now, Theory was brought backstage during the main event, according to PW Insider, and the plan was for him to be the mystery man under the mask to assist the Vision. Now, Austin Theory has not wrestled on WWE programming since July, but his involvement with the Vision won't come as a shock to many, as it was rumored and reported in October that plans called for him to join the faction around Survivor Series. Now, this angle begins a renewed push for Theory, who was previously Vince McMahon's chosen one and was pushed heavily during Vince McMahon's tenure as a creative head of WWE, something that has tailed off since Triple H took charge back in 2022. During his WWE career, Theory is a former Money in the Bank ladder match winner, a one-time WWE Tag Team Champion with Grayson Waller, and a two-time former WWE United States Champion. So what are your thoughts on Austin Theory seemingly being the man behind the mask? Do you think it's going to be eventually Theory that is revealed to be the person, or is it going to be someone else? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, going into the men's War Games match at Survivor Series last night, there were a lot of rumors and a lot of talk, shall we say, backstage about tension, about politicking, about lobbying for spots, and Triple H, WWE's chief content officer, has essentially confirmed as such in the post-show last night. Now, ahead of WWE Survivor Series, WrestleVotes put out a report saying sources indicate there is some creative contention over the entrance order for tonight's men's War Games match. With the amount of star power in play, several scenarios were mapped out, and there are differing opinions. Now, they didn't explicitly say who had said differing opinions or anything like that. The men's War Games match, the highlights of which you can see on the screen right there, featured Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and the Usos against Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Bron Breakker, Big Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. On the Survivor Series post-show, Triple H noted that there was lobbying and there was politics and backstage tension. When asked about the men's War Games bout, he said the following, quote, "Unbelievable. One of the most star-studded War Games I can recall. The level of star power that was in there was second to none. Everybody delivered." He said when you have Brock Lesnar, who does not team well with others, when you have Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Logan Paul, all these people that are in there putting things out at another level, and you see that competitive nature, the lobbying, the politics, the backstage tension tonight, you can cut it with a knife. It was epic. You saw that in people's performances. Now, Triple H also went on to praise Bron Breakker for continuing the match after landing rough on his neck following a doomsday device from Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. Of course, as I mentioned previously, Lesnar, McIntyre, Breakker, Reed, and Paul were victorious in the match, courtesy of Bron Breakker pinning the WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk, thanks to that interference from the masked man in question. Where this goes next, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we will get more answers tomorrow night on WWE Monday Night Raw. So be sure to smash a like on the like button and be sure to subscribe. Now let's move on to some other news regarding the potential WWE return of Chris Jericho. This is certainly an interesting story here. Chris Jericho's immediate future in professional wrestling has been of great interest in recent months, with many reports suggesting that he is on his way out of AEW upon the expiration of his contract, opening the door to a return to WWE at some point upon the turn of the year. Earlier this year, it was reported that WWE were interested in bringing Jericho back, with talk not slowing down since then on the Jericho front. Per a report from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, things have gone as far as WWE pitching a storyline to Chris Jericho. It has been revealed that WWE have offered Jericho a retirement angle for a return to the company, with that being what WWE is interested in rather than anything long-term. It is noted that those in WWE expect him to be in the company early next year. When it comes to other ideas for a Chris Jericho WWE comeback, Bully Ray pitched an idea to WWE for a few months back for Jericho to feud with LA Knight upon his return. What are your thoughts on a retirement angle? Is that the only way that Jericho's return to WWE could work? Or do you still think there's a possibility that the inaugural AEW World Champion could stay with All Elite Wrestling? Speaking of AEW, Andrade has confirmed he hasn't signed a contract with the company. Andrade's contractual situation has been one of the most controversial stories of 2025. Following his WWE firing for alleged wellness policy violations, Andrade showed up on AEW programming, only to be swiftly removed from television due to a one-year non-compete clause that he was reportedly unaware of. At the time, there were some reports suggesting that Andrade had indeed signed a long-term deal with AEW, but both sides have remained quiet on that front. In a response to a comment made by Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Live, Andrade took to social media to clarify whether or not he'd signed a deal with AEW. He said, quote, "I didn't sign any contract. Sir, you say it with such certainty that I signed a contract when that's another one of your lies. Do some more research, sir. I was in negotiations to sign because Mr. Tony Khan and the AEW team were having good discussions and we came to an excellent agreement. I'm especially grateful to TK and AEW in general. Then I received a non-compete clause after my AEW debut and my first match in Tijuana, The Crash. But I want to clarify that I didn't know if that was the issue with WWE. Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. It was revealed recently that Andrade has said he is negotiating with WWE, or at least his lawyers are, in order to get his exit his non-compete clause early, with speculation it could be around the traditional 90-day period. Now, keeping with AEW here, and a bit of an update on Kenny Omega, and maybe a bit of an eye-opener when it comes to his health following his battle with diverticulitis. Kenny Omega has not competed in a singles match since all the way back at AEW All in Texas early this year when he took on Kazuchika Okada in a unification match for both the Continental and International titles. That was back in July. This is reportedly by design. According to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, AEW has been purposefully avoiding putting Kenny Omega in long singles matches right now, which might explain why a teased clash with Kyle Fletcher did not end up happening. Additionally, Meltzer has noted that the recent reunion of the Elite alongside Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks is to continue preventing Omega from competing in the singles division. Omega's health has been a big topic in recent months, with 2025 seeing him return to the ring after over a year on the shelf. This year, his schedule has been reduced. He missed All Out 2025 due to planned absences regarding his health, and he has even been talking in interviews about the prospect of retirement. Omega has competed alongside Jurassic Express in several trios bouts, teamed with Bro Dido, and tagged up with former partner Hangman Page over the last several months. Ever since his 2025 return, Omega has only wrestled 15 times. And finally, maybe last night we got a bit of an indication as to the main events, or certainly the featured matches for next year's WrestleMania 42 event, but maybe now we know plans for what the original main event was going to look like. WrestleMania 42 is heading to Las Vegas, Nevada in 2026 for the second straight year, though plans may have already changed when it comes to the main event scene for the PLE. There was talk this week that the ending of Survivor Series would forecast a potential headliner for WrestleMania 42, with the aftermath of the main event seeing Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk facing off in the ring. Some have speculated that it's likely to be CM Punk versus Bron Breakker, and it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 3, finishing off their WrestleMania trilogy. According to a report from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the running plan is now for either Roman Reigns versus CM Punk or Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the main event. However, when it comes to to the original plan, Meltzer has revealed that WWE originally wanted to book Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins as the Night 2 show closer, potentially for the World Heavyweight Championship. Due to Rollins' long-term injury suffered in recent months, in which he needed to relinquish the World Heavyweight title, these plans may have been completely ripped up. The tension that existed after Survivor Series seemed to indicate more pressing issues between Reigns and WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, seeming like that could be the direction that they go for Mania in Vegas next year. But there you go, guys. Latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. A reminder, you can use our QR code or our link right there and get up to 77% off plus 3 months extra for NordVPN. You can then change your location. You can watch last night's Survivor Series along with future WWE PLEs, Raw, SmackDown, NXT PLEs, and much more through one Netflix subscription. All you got to do is get NordVPN. You can save yourself some money and you can support the channel in the process. Really appreciate everyone for tuning in as always, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.